Hello and welcome to this News9 special. And now, well, the controversy over a particular invite has been asking this big question whether India's name is now going to be changed to Bharat. Why it happened so? It happened because there was this invite for this G20 dinner that was given out by the president's office, and it had this, the president of Bharat written on it. So it was no longer India that was there, and therefore it has moved into the realm of speculations and later into controversy whether there is going to be a change of the country's name in its entirety. Remember, there's already this huge controversy over the special session that has been called by the parliament as to what would have been in the agenda. Again, speculations being there rife on it. Well, this is the invite that we're talking about, and there you have it. The president of Bharat is what is mentioned over there. Normally, it would have been the president of India, but it's written the president of Bharat, and this is an invite that was formally given for a dinner session on September 9th for G20, and this seems to be the one that is triggering the entire debate whether the country's official name is going to change or not. Well, to discuss more about this, we have with us our political editor Brijesh Pandey, who joins us in the studio.
Thanks.
We have KV Dhananjay, who joins us. He is a senior advocate and a matter of constitution is where he in fact has a specialization in. We are also joined in by Suresh Kochatal, who is a political analyst who joins us as well. Well, Brijesh, India, Bharat, as journalists, when we speak about India and Bharat, the first thing is that, India is that urban center, suave people who have knowledge of English, and Bharat is your rural sectors that you're talking about, the divide between India and Bharat that we keep talking about. That is what we know. But now with this, is there a plan to change the country's name?
Well, I think, this particular invite which has been sent out by the President of India, it's like also him by Ministry of External Affairs, where they say the President of Bharat, it has triggered a massive, I would say, inquisitiveness and curiosity in people that whether the special session which has been called, 5 sitting of session which has been called by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in this resolution is going to be passed where, now we won't be calling India, India, but calling India Bharat. And, as the first article 1 clearly says India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of state. So I think India might be giving way to Bharat. And what has more triggered, reaction from the opposition side is also given the fact that 3-4 days back, RSS Sarsangh Chalak Mohan Bhagwat spoke about the need to rename India as Bharat, to reflect the glorious tradition that India was. There are many who believe that there is no need for this, but then this is what politics is all about, if I may say so.
Politics is all about. Well, we have KV Dhananjay who's joining us as well. KV Dhananjay, what is your reaction to this particular aspect? India could be renamed into Bharat, and if it should be done or not to be done, because as my colleague was pointing out, article, the union of its and its territory, where the article in fact says that India that is Bharat is how it's mentioned in that opening statement. So how do you see this particular aspect?
Well, this is really not the way to move forward. And the president happens to be the head of the executive in this country. And he shouldn't casually assume that, we will henceforth call India as Bharat. Because if India should be called as Bharat, notwithstanding that the constitution says India that is Bharat. So one of the reasons why the constitution says India that is Bharat is to in fact preserve our heritage. But having done that, they still made a choice to not move ahead with Bharat, but then to move ahead with India. Now, that is something that we should honor. And the president, as the head of the executive, has a duty to, be formal where the need arises. Now, G20 is an international event. Now, the president ought not to have done this. And I think this is, highly unacceptable on the part of the president to have said that he's the president of Bharat, because he's not the president of Bharat, he's the president of India. And if he wants to call himself as the president of Bharat, that would require a kind of consensus amongst various people who are vested with the responsibility to amend the constitution. Now, these are formalities that the ordinary person may not really bother much about, but these are formalities that matter a great deal because we still have a written constitution. We are bound by formalities, and this is in fact a formality over our identity. my name is KV Dhananjay. Am I going to call myself something else apart from KV Dhananjay just because I really feel we do that on Twitter? But I'm not going to go to the court tomorrow and prepare a memo, and instead of my usual name, put some other name along with that because that, in fact, is not permissible in an official setting. And the president was acting in an official setting. He ought not to have done what he did. And it is irrelevant whether Congress objects to it or not. But what is relevant is this country would want the presidents to simply follow the law. And if they are unhappy with being called as the president of India, then the president has two options. One, he must request for a formal change of the name of this country, or in the alternative, he should simply resign and go home. What he did in an international event and setting is beneath the office of the president. Now, unfortunately, this is the very thing that the political party in power wanted, and now the president, swinging to the tune of a political party in power is not a good thing because the president must keep himself above float. He's expected to be independent of the political party's aspirations. He is the president of India. He's not the president of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So this is really very upsetting, and I would say I would like to use the choice of word I would like to press here is disturbing. This ought not to have happened.
This all should have not have happened. Suresh Kochatal, how do you in fact see if there is a name change that's going to happen from India to Bharat?
Well, I think when Calcutta became Kolkata, or when Madras became Chennai, or Bangalore became Bengaluru, nobody had any objection. And just to correct Dhananjay, it is she, not he, is the president of India. The president of India has a reason. If you look at the Constitution, Article 1, it says Hindi mein Bharat, Angrezi mein India. Okay, so that's very, very clear. So the president is well within her rights. She is inviting people as the president of Bharat. Okay, now you can say that why president, why not Rashtrapati? So that is not a terminology understood. But if you look at even people from Pakistan, or for that matter, people from anywhere in the other parts of the Indian subcontinent, they always address us as Bharat or Hindustan. They don't call us India often. And that is what we need to understand. Why is it that our neighbors have no issues with calling us Bharat or Hindustan, but we in India have an issue when it comes to calling ourselves? So when Kolkata became Kolkata, why was there no objection? Why didn't the people say, no, in the constitution it is not? The constitution doesn't say so much. It does say the word Bharat. It is up to the nomenclature how to use it. Yes, when Hindi is used often, it's often said Bharat. And we know where the terminology evolved. It is only in the 17th century that India as a word evolved. In the 7th century, there was a mention in the old texts, but that was not really one. The modern English shows India coming up somewhere in the 17th century. So we were a Bharat Desh, we were a Bharat Varsh. We are proud of our heritage. I mean, I'm really all for naming Kerala as Keralam. Yes, that is the original one. I have no objection in Madras being called Chennai because Madras was a British kind of invention. The same goes for Kolkata. I mean, why is it that only when BJP starts naming its, the Bharat, or there's no such proposal as such, but a president being inviting somebody, and today they have even included president. The president is above everything, above criticism. But today they've dragged the name of the president into a debate, political debate, for an invite which she sends out. It is her prerogative to call what she wants and what she does, as long as she is within the broad parameters of the Constitution. And I fail to understand why there is so much of hue and cry on it, why there was no hue and cry later. We also saw that in cases of Delhi streets being renamed. We would like to honor our invaders. No other country does this. You will not find a Hitler street in Israel, but we find an Aurangzeb road in Delhi. And this is the problem with us. We actually go around trying to honor our invaders, but we don't like to be called Bharat. We don't like to be called Hindustan, which is what, if you see a Pakistani television commentator, he always says Hindustan or Bharat. He doesn't say India often. But then there's no such issue. We keep quiet. We say, oh, wonderful. But when the president of India sends out an invite saying the president of Bharat, and there all hell breaks loose. That's what I fail to understand. It's a president's prerogative, and let the president decide what she wants to be called as long as I mentioned before, within Article 1 of the Constitution, it is legally permissible. Whether they change the name of India into Bharat, it's a different thing. And today itself, I was complimenting Sai Deepak on Twitter to say that India, that is Bharat, which is the name of the book that he recently wrote. actually seems to be coming true. And that is what, as a civilization, we are never proud of our old heritage. Pataliputra, oh no, changed. It's gone. We have Aurangabad, which was not there before. So how did these new names come in? We need to correct our history, because those who forget history are condemned to repeating it. And that's exactly what my point is.
Condemning to repeating it. Well, let us in fact listen to some of the reactions that have been coming in, especially after this invite has gone on. It's taken a political turn as well. Let's listen to the initial reactions on this.
हम सब लोग इंडिया शब्द का उपयोग करना छोड़ दें और भारत शब्द का उपयोग करना प्रारंभ करें। कभी कभी अंग्रेजी जानने वालों के सामने हमको बोलना पड़ता है, तो भाषा के प्रवाह में ही इंडिया आ जाता है, क्योंकि उनको समझना चाहिए, कोई जरूरत नहीं है। जो विशेष नाम होते हैं उसका भाषांतर नहीं किया जाता, दुनिया में कहीं नहीं करते। ऐसे हमारा भारत देश है, सदियों से उसका नाम है, जो असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतम गमय की यात्रा करता है, तेज की तरफ जाता है, प्रकाश में रत रहता है, ज्ञान में रत रहता है, वो हमारा देश है। उसका नाम भारत है, तो दुनिया में कहीं भी जाएगा तो वो भारत ही रहना चाहिए। तो हम बोलने में लिखने में सर्वत्र भारत कहे। किसी को समझने में नहीं आया, चिंता न करे, उसको जरूरत है तो वो समझ लेगा। हमको जरूरत नहीं है सबको समझाने की, हम अपने आप में समर्थ है, स्वतंत्र है। आज दुनिया को हमारी जरूरत है, बिना दुनिया हम चल सकते हैं, दुनिया हमारे बिना नहीं चल सकती।
मुझे समझ में आना इसमें गलत क्या है। भारत हमारा देश का, हमारा देश भारत ही है, इसमें प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ भारत लिखने में किसको तकलीफ है?
तो सर संविधान से छेड़छाड़ है सर। कांग्रेस
देखिए, कांग्रेस को तो सब कुछ छेड़छाड़ी दिखता है ना। उनको एक दिन सनातन धर्म को इरेडिकेट करना है, दूसरा दिन कुछ और बोलेंगे। इसमें मुझे कोई नहीं लगता इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम है। भारत का नाम अगर हम भारत नहीं यूज करेंगे तो क्या यूज करेंगे?
भारत के संविधान के निर्माता ने जो लिखा कि इंडिया दैट इज भारत शैल बी ए यूनियन ऑफ स्टेट्स, पहली ही धारा को आप बदलना चाहते हैं। ये इस देश के करोड़ों लोगों का अपमान है जो बाबा साहब डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर में आस्था रखते हैं, जो भारत के संविधान में आस्था रखते हैं। ये उनका अपमान है। और मैं मोदी जी को और भागवत जी को आगाह करना चाहता हूं कि बाबा साहब के सम्मान के साथ खिलवाड़ मत कीजिए, भारत के संविधान के साथ खिलवाड़ मत कीजिए।